Okay, this may be a little premature, but I'm going to shoot some video footage of the location out here at the cabin. I've been here since first week of August. I've been home a couple times. It's September 20th today, and I've been busy out here. I just want to give you an idea of the amount of clearing I've done. That's where the boat dock is, bottom of the hill. And it used to be, this place was nothing but trees. They were growing right up against this building. And this was just a shell of a cabin. And it used to be that when you walked up this hill, all those railroad ties that hold this building up were tilted about 8 degrees to the north. That would be towards the porch. And it certainly looked like the place could fall over eventually. Well, it's been bugging me for a long time, and I finally did something about it. I dug up, you see my shadow coming there. It's been a glorious day. I'm going to pan around. There's my help. That's Boss. Bossy, better look into the camera. There you go, that's Boss. Boss is here constantly. Boss has been here since the first tree was cut. But it's been a glorious day here. They said it was going to rain. Well, so much for the weather forecast. But it has been special. Had a few sprinkles this morning. Bird feeder. Come build me a new one this year. During the winter. Come build a big one. One that'll hold food. Now the building sits with the porch faces almost due north by west, and the back of the building is south, so everything was tilted to the north. And what I did here is I dug out these corner posts, all 4 of them, and replaced them, and so I put there's new posts in here. They go down about 4 foot or a little better. And I bedded them in gravel that I hauled out here in the winter. And then in between them is this cross tie. This is an 11-foot long railroad tie. They're all about 110 inches long. And the idea is to use the leverage of the tie to the south pressing against the base of the tie to the north to hold things in place. In order to get this cabin back up to where it was supposed to be, I had 2 110-foot cables hooked to these big old eye bolts, drilled right down through the center of the bottom beam of the building. And then those cables went from 18 foot up into the building, way back there, that tree on the right, and the center tree on the left. Those are in line with the main beams of the building. That's why I needed 110 foot of cable and a bunch of chain. And I hooked up here with come-alongs, dug out around all these railroad ties, and then just kept putting the pressure to it with come-alongs until I drug this building back about 6 inches and stood those railroad ties all up plumb again, straight up and down. A little bit to the tilt to the south now. You see here, well, I cleaned up all my tools. Guess I missed one. Here you get a good look at the cross tie operation. That goes all the way, that's a 110-inch railroad tie, and believe me, those babies are heavy. I had to cut them way back at the shed and carry them up here. I don't have any other way to move them. And so that's buried down. There's an angle cut on the bottom of it that wedges itself into the ground at the base of that other railroad tie right there. And then if this building tries to move to the north, the bottom of that cross tie right there, that cross tie right there, the bottom of that is going to get pressed against the bottom of the tie to the north by the top of this southernmost corner. That should hold everything in place, at least to my thinking it will. And back here, that's a wood pile, small one under that tarp. I intend to straighten up all these ties across the back of the building next summer, and then instead of replacing these old steps, I'm going to fix a band joist across all these ties, and I'm going to build a deck out here with the intention of putting it under roof from up there where the siding starts, pitch a roof down, and then eventually enclose it. Put a couple windows in it so it doesn't cut off light to the back window there, and enclose it so I have a good place to store wood. See here, I got a little bit of backfilling to fix up. But that's the story. That corner I just showed you over on the sunny side, and this one, I just did these two today. Dug that post right there, that one. I replaced that one. That one was in bad shape, plus when they originally set these beams, they missed the darn beam with the they missed the post with the beam. So I've got that shimmed up. I've raised this building back here 3/4 of an inch. Well, actually a little more than 3/4, because I've got gravel bedded underneath these things now. So I've raised this whole back corner. That straightened out my floors inside. And of course, you see up here in the front corner on the northeast corner of the building, the same deal. Another one of the cross ties gone from the top of the southern beam to the bottom of the northernmost beam. And that should hold this building in place much, much better than it was. And the beams are always an optical illusion. I used a 4-foot level on these. I plumbed these things both ways. So, see, I got a little bit more to clean out under the building, but that'll wait until over the winter. I'm going to split up all them logs right there, and then I'm going to put skirting around this place. Once I have this all the way cleaned out underneath, I'm going to put skirting under it. Then comes the sauna. You know, I may have myself misled here, but I'm thinking sauna can't be too much harder to build than one of them. A little bit bigger, but not too much different than an outhouse. I got some repair work to do on the storage shed. A little bit of repairs, and it wouldn't hurt to put a coat of paint or something on that and pop a couple windows in it. I wouldn't mind. Back here, you see this is my winter's hope. Now I had some neighbors down the lake here that had one of these up for years. So I figure this one will stand. I got to put center posts in it yet. It's got about 1.5 cords of wood in it. And I'm going to put some spruce poles right down the middle of it to help bear snow load. And of course that's got my lawnmower and my brush cutter in there. And you see, it's not so high that come winter time, if I pull up beside this on a snow machine, I'll be able to clean the snow off the roof with a push broom. But that's what I've been doing when I should have been fishing. I've been out here working on this, but you got to admit, that baby'd look good with a nice deck on the back of it, wouldn't it? Instead of them little bitty steep steps, put a nice deck here so you can sit out here. You see, sometimes the wind comes from the north when it's raining, and you end up not being able to sit on the front porch because the rain's blowing in on you. In which case, if you had a deck back here with a roof over it, you'd be set. But that's the situation. And oh, in case you're wondering why they're set up on railroad ties, that's because when it snows here a bunch, you don't want this thing built right down at ground level or you won't even be able to get in it. You'll have to dig a tunnel to get to your porch. But this is what I've been doing. I've got my foundation straightened up, shored up on all four corners, and I've done a lot of clearing work this year. Boss helped with every bit of it. Bossy, you helped with every bit of that work, didn't you? Bugs are after you, man. Yeah, I've cleared this whole hill off to the left. I got a little bit to do yet, but I swear to gosh, I've got a sprained ankle right now. I bunged that ankle up working on this place the past few weeks. This hill right here, all the trees gone, stumps ground out. Of course, in the springtime I'll have to brush it off again. And then over there, that whole thing's brushed out about 30 yards, 25 yards down. I'm gonna move the clearing down. I'm gonna drop a few of them trees you see over there this winter, and try to get them stumps cut right at ground level and clear this out right over to that tree line. And with a few more trees cut down around here, I've got a lot of cutting to do over the winter. Those ones you're looking at right now, they're going down. They're going down this winter. That beech on the left, the spruce, all those trees in that picture right there are going down this winter. And then, well, the job will just be ongoing. That's all I can say. I'll never be done. I've admitted that. Come on, Bossy. Come. Let's go. Here. Got a bug right by your eye. Come on, bud. You've been rolling in the leaves, haven't you? Well, I'll never be done. I'm gonna move a bunch of dirt out here and just keep working on this place. You got the sauna project, the gazebo project out there, right out there, right about there on that green spot. Gazebo, right out there over the lake, man. Oh yeah. I just hope that I get a chance to come out here and just sit around. I want to spend a couple weeks just sitting here. I want to get the work done and then come here and just hang out. But as it is, them spruce poles that right there, that's where I'll get my center poles for underneath that Shelter Logic tent. They'll keep that thing up good. But that's the lay of the land. That's what I've been doing. That trail there goes down. That's a muskeg field down there. It's a field. You can go out there and walk around, but there's water under that. You know, I don't know how deep you got to go to hit water, and there's a couple ponds out there in it. It's about probably 4.5 acres or so. And maybe I'll make a video and walk all the way back to property one of these days. It's a pretty good size place. And that's it. I'm about done. Yeah, look here. Wishful thinking. Oh, and hey, you always got this one. Yep, day trips are weekly. Yeah, how about it? Well, Bossy. Oh, geez, we got work to do in here, too. Now, the floor's leveled up now good. But the floor needs painted. Those last 2 rolls of carpeting need put down upstairs. But it's come a long ways. A little bit of artwork hanging here and there. Yeah, the raccoons and the creel thing going on. Yeah, this is where I'm at. When I'm away, and I tell you I'm at the cabin, this is what I'm doing. Yeah. There you go. Give you pretty good look at the place. There you go. That was me long ago. Double hull casting on the west branch of the Penobscot. Yeah. I've had a busy time of it. Whoop. Can't forget that. That's me as a deer hunter. That's a long time ago. Shooting deer, yeah. Before my hair was gray like that, in that reflection. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta pay attention to this clock more often. But that's what's going on. I got work to do everywhere I look, so I'm gonna shut this off and get busy.